Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at the 2010 Lincoln Shield cent, the very first year of the Shield design that replaced the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. While most of these pennies are only worth face value, some rare errors and high-grade examples can actually be worth big money. In this video, I'll break down what to look for and how much your 2010 penny could really be worth. Let's get started. To begin with, let's talk about the historical transition that the 2010 cent represents. Abraham Lincoln first appeared on the U.S. penny in 1909, honoring the centennial of his birth. For a full century, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was the design we all knew, running from 1959 through 2008. Then came 2009, when the U.S. Mint issued for special reverse design celebrating the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. Each depicted a stage of Lincoln's life from his humble log cabin beginnings to his time in Washington, D.C. This led to a lot of collector excitement and hoarding. But in 2010, the Mint permanently switched to the Union Shield design created by Lyndall Bass and engraved by Joseph Menard. The shield represented the unity of the states, harking back to the preservation of the Union, because Lincoln dedicated his life to. Thus, the 2010 penny stands as the symbolic bridge between the bicentennial celebration and the modern enduring reverse still in use today. When it comes to mint marks, the 2010 cent was struck in huge numbers at both the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without a mint mark, and the Denver Mint marked with a D. In addition, the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins identifiable by their mirror-like finish and sharp details marked with an S. Philadelphia struck approximately 2.06 billion cents in 2010, while Denver produced around 2.41 billion, making them plentiful in circulation. Meanwhile, San Francisco contributed a much smaller mintage, around 1.7 million proof coins, all sold directly to collectors in sets. That means if you come across a regular worn 2010 penny in your change, it's not rare. But if you manage to snag a high-grade and circulated example, or better yet a proof or an error coin, you could be holding something with added numismatic value. Now let's discuss the values. Most circulated 2010 pennies are worth exactly 1 cent. However, in the coin collecting world, condition is everything. For example, an uncirculated 2010 cent graded by PCGS ORNGC often sells in the 25 cents to $1 range. That's not life-changing, but it's already 25 to 100 times its face value if you have one in a very high grade, such as can bring $10, $20 or even more at auction-proof versions, particularly those with deep cameo contrast, are worth about $2 to $5 depending on demand. But the real money comes from rare varieties and mint errors. Certain double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on defective plankets can sometimes sell for hundreds. That's why collectors carefully examine their 2010 cents under magnification, searching for anything unusual that sets their coin apart from the billions of common strikes. A point that really excites numismatists is the distinction between ordinary strikes and business strike coins in exceptional condition. Imagine pulling a brilliant red 2010 Lincoln cent that grades from circulation. While the odds are slim, such a coin could command hundreds at auction simply because of its rarity and top grade. For context, PCGS has graded very few 2010 cents at making them highly sought after. Proof coins also have their own grading scale appeal with deep cameo examples carrying a premium, since perfection is rare even for coins directly sold to collectors. These are the kinds of coins that get talked about in auction catalogs and on collector forums, keeping the 2010 penny on the radar more than casual observers might expect. Now let's dive into varieties and errors, since that's often where the real treasure lies. For the 2010 penny, collectors have documented some interesting double die obverses where the doubling is visible in areas like Lincoln's I, the motto, "In God We Trust," or the date itself. Off-center strikes, clipped plankets, and die cracks are also known from this year. Each error has its own value depending on severity and visibility. A minor die crack might sell for a few dollars, while a dramatic off-center strike showing only half of the design could easily bring $50 to $100. There's also the chance of transitional errors, such as coins struck on leftover plankets from another denomination, though these are extremely rare. For dedicated collectors, hunting for these anomalies in 2010 cents can be both thrilling and rewarding. Another detail worth noting is the composition of the 2010-1. Like most modern pennies since 1982, it is composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating of 2.5%. That makes it quite different from the pre-1982 bronze cents, which were 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. While this shift was largely economic, the mint sought to reduce costs as copper prices rose. It also means the 2010 cents are lighter, weighing just 2.5 grams compared to the earlier 3.11 gram bronze cents. This is important for collectors who weigh their coins while searching for errors. If a 2010 cent weighs anything outside the normal tolerance range, it could be a clue that something unusual happened during production, potentially increasing the coin's desirability and value. Paragraph 8. For collectors who subscribe to U.S. Mint offerings, the 2010 penny was part of several products, it appear, in mint sets, proof sets, and uncirculated coin sets, each offering collectors a pristine way to obtain examples straight from the mint without handling, where these subscription products are often overlooked but can be a great way to ensure you receive the latest coins in their best form. For example, the 2010 proof set included the Lincoln cent with the Union Shield reverse alongside nickels, dimes, quarters, and dollars of that year, making it an attractive package for numismatists building complete year sets. Many collectors who bought these directly from them. Now let's touch on how the 2010 penny fits into the broader story of Lincoln coinage. More than just pocket change, this coin symbolizes Lincoln